starting October, I'm going to be moving to Ghana for 2 years and 3 months doing the Peace Corps.
Next year, I will be working in the greater New York City area in insurance, specifically for peer insurance.
I accepted an offer to be an associate consultant for a real estate consulting company in San Francisco.
I do not know what I will be doing for the summer or next year.
Next year, I'm going to be working at Barclays as a public finance analyst.
I will be working for a small Buddhist magazine this summer called Tricycle.
I'm going to be working at a tech company in Cambridge, Massachusetts called Tamer.
I don't know, but I hope to know soon.
I remember sitting in the audience watching the video you guys are watching now. I felt sitting in that seat like a rush of stress and anxiety. Like I had somehow already fallen behind.
I feel like on the first day of school, everyone already had a job. And I didn't even know what I wanted to do yet.
I definitely fell into the trap of being very anxious about it in September, and I applied to consulting jobs even though I had no interest in that, but everybody does it, so why not? Not everybody does it, you don't have to.
It's definitely something in the back of my mind that I'm thinking about. I'm like, dang, I need a job. But things have always worked out. Something's gonna fall into place.
You're not behind, you're exactly on track, and you're gonna be okay.
You kind of realize that a lot of people are still looking throughout the entire year. It's normal to not have a job until the end or even after your senior year.
I had friends that were like, I want to get a job by winter break or over spring break and get an interview at all these places, and when I come back I'll have a job. And don't listen to them.
Things will happen, it just has to be on the correct timeline, and you can't impose your own timeline. So I've known I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 7, and then I became an adult, and now I don't necessarily know what I want to do with my life. I entered senior year very confused and very shaken about what was next because I suddenly was someone who didn't have a 5-year plan. But there's something so liberating and exciting about that.
Don't get too one-track minded in your career. You may not be working where you want to work right when you graduate, but you're gonna have a job, you're gonna make some type of income, and it's gonna work out. I mean, look at Barry Mills. Homeboy had 3 careers. You can have 3 careers too. So just keep an open mind. Applying for jobs is literally another class.
The job search is an input-heavy process. It takes the longest to write your first cover letter. Starting early, I think that definitely really helps.
When you have action to channel your nerves into, you feel a little bit better about it. I just said to myself I was going to write 1 email a day or have 1 conversation every few days with someone.
The most important resource is just the alumni network. I mean, that's pretty much exactly how I got my full-time position.
Honestly, the idea of networking to me always was ugh, it's dirty and I don't want to do it. It just felt kind of gross to call people up and be like, hey, how are you gonna help me weasel my way into the job market? But that's totally not what it is.
Networking is a fancy word for just saying the connections you form with people.
Bowdoin is a really tight-knit community, and finding something that you both have experienced is always really fun.
It makes you realize that it's not just oh, this is Bowdoin and you're going to do networking at Bowdoin and then you're going to get a job. It's you have to do this your whole life, whether or not you call it networking.
At first it can feel kind of intimidating because it's oh, this is a stranger. But it's something that they're used to doing, and it's something that you will get used to doing too, so it's not something at all to feel awkward about.
Talk to everyone. Talk to Diane, talk to Todd, talk to Meg. They'll help you.
I was definitely one of those students who never went to the Career Planning Center before senior year, I'm ashamed to say. And I was really nervous about going to the CPC for the first time, but I went in and everyone was just super welcoming, and Todd was super helpful. I wouldn't have found this job without him.
So I was with Sherry for the last couple of years. She was the only one that I met with. And I decided to also talk to Meg Springer. Her willingness to help me, even though I started talking to her my senior spring, was awesome. Using all the resources you have in the career planning office is really important, and don't feel like you have to stick with one just because you started with them.
The career planning people themselves are really helpful for me for cover letter and resume, stuff like that. I'd never had a Skype interview before, so I was like, what do I wear? And they were like, oh, you can post notes above your webcam, and they won't even know, and stuff like that. Things that you couldn't really find online.
It might seem scary, but they're some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet, and they will definitely help you in your job search.
Be kind this year. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Remember to take time for yourself because you are going through a transition.
Enjoy throwing yourself into it, and also enjoy not throwing yourself into it and saying no when you need to say no. But I would say yes more than you say no.
My biggest piece of advice would be enjoy your senior year. Don't let the stresses of the job search stop you from having a good time and enjoying Bowdoin, because it does go by really fast.
Ev and I are like 2 resources that you already have.
Yes.
Call us up. We expect calls from you.
If I have a job, I'll tell you about it.
If I still have a job, I'll tell you about it.
Good luck to everyone, and especially good luck to my sister Lee as she tries to figure out her job life after college. You'll figure it out. Love you all.